Hey there, Internet. One second, I'm going to see if I can get Instagram on the feed here. And then we're just going to do some stuff. Going to see about making a WordPress website. Let's see. Oh, cool. Looks like I'm live on Instagram as well. And if not, no worries. Okay. I'm Karanda Adair. I am the CEO of Carvel Digital. I started my career as a WordPress developer, and I still love and use WordPress. And I kind of spurred the moment decided to do this live because a lot of people ask on threads where I mostly hang out these days. A lot of people are like, which website platform? What's the easiest way? A lot of people are super anti WordPress because they have WordPress PTSD. They've had some trauma. In my time as a developer, I have seen and inherited clients who hired people to make WordPress sites for them that were either made on really crappy theme forest themes that were completely over-engineered or super custom WordPress sites where they got it and it looked beautiful on the outside, but then the business owners were afraid to touch it. And I'm really, really big on ownership. And I hate it when people are disempowered to manage their own technology. So I decided to just come on here and, create a template WordPress site using all the tools that I've been using in my business since 2015. And also, while we're doing this, I'm going to go over the cost, and I'm going to show you a base that I use with clients to help them track the software that they're using and see what the cost is. Because I think a lot of people think, oh, if I'm going to have a WordPress site, then I'm going to spend all my time updating plugins, or it's going to be really expensive to manage. So I want to know, like, what is it really going to cost? And I haven't really prepped a lot of stuff in advance other than setting up a demo site with like a super basic WordPress install. So you're going to see the real deal as we go through this. And hopefully I'll be on for maybe an hour. And if people are live and they want to ask questions, or you want to put questions in the comments afterwards, that's great. And if you like this sort of demo and this sort of support, I do have a membership called Automation Club, and that is where I host office hours, 2-hour co-working sessions twice a month. And in those sessions, we put our heads down and we get to work. We do 4 25-minute sessions. And then we check in between. And if people are stuck, then I jump in. We go to a Zoom breakout room so everybody else can keep working. And then I help them get unstuck. And so I wanted to kind of give a sample of what that might be like. So with that said, let us jump in and show the screen. Oh, I don't know if Instagram's working, but either it is or it isn't. So I'm going to put this over here. So we have a super basic WordPress install. So let me start with hosting, because if you're going to have a WordPress site, one of the differences between that and something like Squarespace or Wix is that you have to have your own host. What are words? So let me do an analogy for this. If you're going to use something like Squarespace, Wix, those are hosted websites, and you can think of those as being like an apartment building. So you are going to set up your little apartment on their service, and you can do what you want with it within reason, but there are some guidelines, right? You may not be able to paint your apartment the way you want. You might not be able to put nails into the walls. There are some guidelines, and in exchange for those limitations, you are also spared from doing all the maintenance, right? They take care of all updating of all the software, but you're also pretty much stuck with whatever functionality they have, right? And you can ask them for more if there's something that you want that you don't have, but it really is up to them whether they're going to create that or not. So Squarespace, Wix, even WordPress.com. A lot of people get confused on WordPress.com versus self-hosted WordPress. WordPress.com, if you were to go to WordPress.com, sign up for an account, that is also an apartment building. Okay. So having your own WordPress site, when I say that, I'm talking about having your own hosting, creating your own WordPress site that you have complete control of. And then you're also responsible for the maintenance, but that doesn't have to be a big burden. Let me make sure I have comments over here. So okay, so hosting. For a long time I used Flywheel hosting and I was very, very happy with it. And then last year there was kind of a brouhaha between Matt Mullenweg, the founder of WordPress, and WP Engine. Well, WP Engine bought Flywheel, so it was all kind of the same thing. And I decided I didn't want to be in the middle of any of those shenanigans. So I switched to this hosting company, which is WPX Hosting. And I kind of had this in my back pocket for a while because I just like to be able to pick up my toys and go home if I need to. And so when all this happened, it took me, I don't know, 24 hours maybe to make the switch and move all my websites because I already knew where I was going to go. And honestly, I'm sad I didn't do it sooner. My sites were noticeably faster when I switched to this. So let's figure out what are we going to pay for this hosting. We've got a business plan. Of course, they always default to the yearly pricing. So it's either going to be $20.83 a month if you pay for the whole year, or if you pay monthly, it's going to be $24.99 a month. So not too bad. So I have this base over here, and this is a template that I have that I give to clients to help track their expenses. So if we look at WPX hosting, let's put in that pricing. What do we have? $24.99 a month. Oh, that's computed. So we can put $24.99, and then annually it was $249.99. Okay, so in this base, basically the formula calculates your monthly payments based on whether it's monthly or yearly. So if I were to change this to annual, then you can see this price changes to $20.83. So I'm going to put this as a recommended, and then I have this other view, and this is going to help us keep track of how much things cost, right? So right now we're looking at $24.99, and then you can see the sum here at the bottom. Okay, so that's our first thing, is hosting. When you set up this host, also they have the best customer service of any hosting platform that I have ever experienced. Like, I had a few things where I had to contact support, like support chat, and when I tell you my support issues were resolved in minutes every single time, like 4 or 5 times that I had to contact them throughout the move, and maybe one time since. So yeah. No bad to say about this hosting. And you get 5, I think you get 5, up to 5 websites. So you can have your site. I have a few different sites. I have a site for just like marketing landing pages. I have a site dedicated to my shopping cart software. So if you have multiple sites and you want to be able to play around with different things, that's also a bonus. Okay, so we got our WPX hosting. The next thing is WordPress theme. And this is where you can like make or break. The number one reason people tell me that they want to use Squarespace or Wix or platforms like that is that they want drag and drop and they want it to be simple. So this is the software that I have used since 2015 that gives that drag and drop functionality. It's called Thrive Themes, and it is not just a theme, it's actually a whole suite of business tools in a box, right? So under the solutions, you've got your website, quizzes, membership site. Like, they've added so much to this since I started using it. It was great when I started using it, and then they've added so much. Lead generation, online courses, landing pages and funnels, like all of these things come when you just buy this whole package bundle. So you've got the under products here, you've got the theme builder, and let me just talk for a moment about the difference between a theme builder and a page builder. Thrive Architect is the page builder, and that means you can create a page. The page is drag and drop. You can add sections, you can add columns, you can do all these things. But it's just for that page. And then if you create another page, you're going to have to do that all over again. A theme builder means that you can create your whole theme. That means you create rules and templates that apply to your whole website across the board. And then let's say in my website, for instance, I have my theme builder, and then I have a template page for when I have podcast episodes that I want to publish, or I have a template page for when I have a blog post that I want to publish. The theme builder lets you set those rules for the entire website. So it's kind of a big deal that they have a theme builder as well as just a page builder. And then Thrive Apprentice is the online course tool. And I have, by the way, if you're curious about any of these things, you can go to my website and you can search for articles about almost anything that I've talked about. So let's see, WPX hosting. When I moved my hosting, I wrote articles about that whole dispute. I wrote an article about my experience migrating my websites. So whenever you have questions about anything I'm saying in this live or tech or websites in general, I always tell people Google and add my name or add Carvel Digital, and you'll probably find something that I've written on it in the past. So I just want to lay that out there. Okay, so back to Thrive Themes. Business in a box, tons of products for everything you might want to do with your marketing. Some of the really cool things I love are for people who have more sophisticated marketing and are doing funnels and things like that. Thrive Optimize lets you A/B test your landing pages. So I have a lot of clients in the past who've run ads, and they need to be able to run ads to different versions of a page to see what's performing well. So Thrive Suites makes it really easy to do that. If you're into like countdown timers and things like that, they've got a solution for that. So lots of stuff. So let's see. And it looks like they're having a sale, but let's see what the regular pricing is. Okay, so $5.99 a year, and it's on sale for $239 a year. And honestly, almost every time I come here, they're having this sale. So let's put that into our little calculator. We're going to, let's see, Thrive Themes. We're going to say $239, and that's annual. And we're going to change this to recommended. So now if we go to our recommended software, our total down here is up to let's see. Let's go. This is our annual cost field. I don't know why that's not computing, but we'll put that over there. So now our annual cost is up to $488.99. So that's our hosting and our theme. Okay, so let's actually get going creating this stuff. And I will come back and make chapters too, so you guys can skip around. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and log in. And I use 1Password as my password manager. If you don't have a password manager, I would say that is a must-have. So we'll go back and add that to our cost sheet. There we go. So we've got our basic WordPress install, which you'll get when you sign up for hosting. They'll install this for you, and we're going to start from scratch and build this out. Okay, so we need the Thrive Product Manager plugin. Downloaded that, and we're going to go upload that on our site. So we're going to go to plugins and add new, and then we're going to click upload and find our product manager. And we'll activate that. Okay. And if it's your first time doing that, you probably have to log into your Thrive site to get that activated. So now we'll go to the product manager and yep, here's where we log in. Okay. So now you have all the tools in the suite here, and then you get to just pick the ones that you want to use and install those. So we definitely want Thrive Architect, because that's the page builder. We definitely want the theme. That's the theme builder. And is there anything else? I'm going to pick Thrive Leads because we probably are going to want some kind of opt-in lead generation form to build an email list. So I'm going to leave it at that. And I'm going to say, I think this is covering. There we go. I'm going to say install selected products. Processing. I used to remake my website every year, and the fastest that I did it was in 2 days. The slowest that I did it was in 2 weeks. And it's because I use tools like this that just make it really easy to change things. Okay, so now everything is installed. And if we go back to appearance, we should see that theme. Okay, so this is our default theme, and now here's our Thrive theme builder. So we're going to go ahead and activate that. And then we're going to click customize. And y'all, I have not gone through this process in years. So, okay. So one of the things I love is that this will basically take you through the process of customizing your site and setting up kind of the basic foundations. So let's go through, and our site title, say Karonda was right. She knows. Oh, she sees all. Okay, so then your site icon, that's the little, if you can see on this tab, this little icon that is my logo. They tell you 512 by 512. So let me see if I can find, let's see if I can find, I didn't prep images for this, but I'm going to see if, because I know I have it. There we go. And if I can't find it, I'll just, let's see, let me find my branding folder here. New logos. All right, let's try this one. All right. Oh, so one thing about images too is people have a tendency, not necessarily with icons, but with things like header images, people have a tendency to upload images to their site that are way too big. So you want to make sure that you keep your images, I would say 1200 pixels wide is probably a good maximum to make sure that you're not uploading huge images that are going to take forever to load, because that is going to slow your site down and that's going to affect your SEO. All right, so let's publish that. And then we'll go back to the next thing, menus. So let's create a new menu. We'll call it the main menu. And I don't have any pages yet. So we'll add that later. But it'll appear up here. And widgets, I'm not going to worry about. Widgets are like these sidebar items here. Homepage setting. I'm going to set this. I'm going to set it to display a static page, and then we'll create another page to show our blog posts. All right, so I'm going to stop there for now. One thing I know is that there's a lot of existing themes with Thrive. So let me look into that, because I know we can start with a theme that'll give us a huge head start, but I don't remember how to do it. So I'm just going to go to getting started. This is what I mean by this is why I wanted to do this live, because I know a lot of people publish tutorials and it's like everything goes perfectly and you just know everything. And that's actually not how it happens. Like, I think people who are technical, we just know how to look up the things that we need to do right then, and then get it done. So I'm going to do, can I search Thrive University? I'm building my website. Let's choose that. Oh, so then they'll give you a whole course. Getting started with the theme builder, customizing core post and page templates. I want to know about themes though. Let's see what this lesson says. I'm going back to the main site because I want to see, I want to search. There we go. I knew they had themes, their own themes that you can start with. Get started with quick. Is that going to take me to a sales page? We'll see. It is. All right. No, I don't want to. I don't want to do that. Let's see. Oh, let's go back to the dashboard here. Thrive theme, theme options. There we go. Look at me, not looking at the menu. Okay, here's what I wanted. All right, this is what's going to make this super easy. So they have a lot of existing themes, and depending on what kind of business you have, you can kind of pick the thing that's closest for what you're doing, and you can start with that. And it's going to give you a huge head start. So you can see they've got the Bookwise theme if you're an author, the expert theme if you're like a consultant. What else? They've got a sporty theme here. They've got a gallery theme that might be good for photographers, a travel theme, a spa theme. So I think my site is based on the quick theme. I used to use the Omni theme. Let's try this. Let's preview this expert theme and see what that looks like. Oh yeah, here we go. That's really nice. All right, so let's go with that. We are going to choose the expert theme. And now we're going to choose that and click activate. I think this is the part that really catches people and ends up in a lot of frustration, is trying to build from scratch. So now we have this theme, and now we've got the wizard, theme builder wizard, and now you can just go through and you can customize this. So let's get started, and let's upload a logo. So let's see, I'll grab my logo here. Let's see. I want to select. All right, so there's my logo. Also, the other thing about images is when you're doing this for real, do put the alt text in here, because that's going to make your site more accessible for people who are visually impaired and people who use screen readers. So I would put Carvel Digital logo. I'm not going to do that with everything for demo purposes, but it's a good practice. So here it's saying you can use a different logo depending on whether your background is light or dark. So I could upload a light version of the logo. So let's go ahead and do that, actually. Because I've got a white logo. Love this. Just going through, guiding you through all the things. So then you can choose your main color. So I use a lot of what I call the KD blue. Here we go. So I'll choose that as my color. You can change the header from the top drop down. Oh, so let's see. Our header, so we can choose from these different headers. If you wanted like a colorful header, we could do that. What about a nice, just dark header? There we go. So I changed this to dark, and so automatically it's choosing the light version of my logo for better contrast. Gotta love it. All right, let's choose and keep going. So now we can choose a footer. So we can select here and pick from these different footer styles. So if you have a lot of things you want to put in the footer link, you could choose this one with all these columns. If you have something like super simple, then you could choose maybe this one. Let's go with this this dark one here to match the top. So we keep going there. Okay, so then next we're going to choose a home page. It says you can choose from ready-made, or you can display an existing page, or you can use your blog. So let's choose a ready-made home page because we are trying to keep this simple. Okay. So now you can choose from any of these different home pages. Let's see. And these templates, oh, in this context, we only get 17 of them. But in other contexts, you get lots of templates for different kinds of things. So let me see. We want to keep it simple. How about that one? All right. This is looking pretty good. All right, let's keep going. What are we on now? Single blog posts. So then we can figure out, we can choose how we want our blog post to look. So again, we're going to click this drop down and we can choose a template for a blog post. If you want to have, if you have a podcast, you could choose this audio layout. Let's see. Actually, I'm going to go with this one. I like that. So we'd have the title here. We'd have a featured image here. And then this would be your main content for your blog post would go down here. So let's keep that. And then this is for a single blog post. Or no, this is for your blog post. This is for your main blog post landing page. So how do you want to display like lots of different blog posts? So I'm going to go with this one. And we'll keep going. And then we've got a sample page. And again, you can choose from a couple different layouts. So this one has like a boxed format where your content is a little smaller and this one is full width. I'm going to go with boxed because one of the things about reading content is the wider the page, the more text there is, the harder it is to kind of track back and forth. So I like to have narrower content as opposed to full width. Okay, and then we made that menu. So I'm going to choose our main menu for both the header and the footer. Okie dokie. So that is all the basics. And now we can preview. So what has it been? It's been 32 minutes and I talked for the first like 5 or 6 minutes. So you can go back and figure out how long since I started doing this it took to get this basic site layout. And let's put a few pages in here so we can see what the menu is going to look like. So what I'm going to do is go open the dashboard in a different tab. And we'll go to pages. And we'll just create some pages. So they generated a home page for us. There's a default privacy policy page, and there's a blog landing page. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add, I'm just going to call this the about page. And then over here, you can decide what you want that link to be. Right now, it's going to be about me. And I'm going to publish this just so we can have the menu. Okay, so we have our homepage, our blog page, and our about page. And let's do a services page. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Add new. Services. Okay. And then what you're going to do when you're using Thrive, this is the native block editor in WordPress, which honestly, I haven't ever learned to use because I just use the Thrive templates because it's so much faster. So I'm going to publish this. And when you're editing, instead of just editing with the block editor, you're going to choose Launch Thrive Architect, and that's going to put you into the Thrive editor, and that's where you get all the goodies. So you've got this services page, and now you can choose to make this a normal page, a blank page if you're doing like a landing page and you don't want the menu to show, or we can do a pre-built page. I'm going to keep this as a normal page. And then I'm going to click on this cloud to see if we can, oh, that changed the template. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to change the template. Pre-built landing page. Let's try that. Okay. So let's look at which theme. We use the expert theme. So we can go down here to the expert theme and we can expand that. And then we can use one of these compatible pages as the basis for our services page. Let's see. Since we used expert and not service provider. Oh, coach name, about the author. So we could use about the author for the about page. Maybe I'll go back and do that. Webinar registration, a video page. Let's do a speaking page default. So we'll apply that template. And oh, let's do the. I clicked show me how to update the general look and style. So that takes me into a different page in the Thrive Themes documents where it walks you through that. Let's hit, got it. Okay, so I'm going to update this and I'm actually going to status and visibility, main options. Looks like I'm going to have to go back to the other editor. So I'm going to save this and I'm going to say save and return to post editor. And since we have that template, I'm going to change this to speaking. And how do we change this part of the URL here that's after your main domain is called the slug. And I want to know, how do we change that? Aha, we're going to click on this. We're going to look at the page. Let's see, where is that slug? This shows you where to copy it, but I want to actually change it. How can I do that? Rename. Nope, that's the main name. All right, I'm going to come back to that. But in the meantime, I'm going to go back and I'm going to edit the about page and I'm going to use that other about page template. Hey, Shawnee. Let's see. Pre-built and down to the expert theme and about the author. Okay, so we got a few basic pages. Awesome. So I'm going to save that and return to editor. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to change this. You are right. I just had to edit it. So I'm going to save that. And we'll go back to the speaking page. Wonder if I can quick edit. Oh, there we go. I can edit it here too. Change that. Okay, so now I'm going to go to appearance and menus, and we're going to beef up our main menu here by adding our pages. We want the blog, the about page, and the home page. All right. So now how are we looking? So here's the, somehow the menu, this got turned into a sub item. So I'm going to just drag that back like that. And now we've got home, about, and we've got our blog. So let's look at the about page. Awesome. And so I would edit this to make sure that the menus are showing up on all the pages and things. But this is a pretty good template to start with, right? You're not starting with a blank page. It's not super overwhelming. You can spend most of your time really thinking through, like, what's the content that you need to add to actually tell people what they need to know in order to hire you. So let's see, what else do we want to talk about? We are 42 minutes in, and we've got like a basic website. And one thing that you would need to do is you'd need to point your domain, which I'm not going to go through in this video. I did make a whole course back in the day about how to create your WordPress website. It still exists. I don't sell it anymore, but if you really, really want it, like, reach out, and I'm happy to make that available to you. But most people don't want to make their own websites. But so this is the basic site. So I want to talk about maintenance. I want to go back and add password management as one of our essential tools, because that is something that I feel like is non-negotiable. And for password management, I use and love onepassword.com. And so let's go and see, what are we going to pay for that? Let's look at business plans. Okay, so we have $7.99 per user per month. So let's say you have a couple of team members. It's going to be $9.99 if you do it monthly. So let's put that in. And let's just account for 2 team members. So that's going to be one password. Oh, look, it's already in there. So I'm going to just put this as recommended. And what annual cost for 2 team members? $20 a month. Well, $19.99. And we'll say it's monthly. Okay. What else? Oh, let's put in, I think actually we already have an opt-in on the home page. Do we? No. So let's edit this actually, and let's just look at some of the kind of drag and drop things when you want to customize things. All right, so here's the add element button. And when you push this, you get this sidebar of all the things that you could add. So you could add a list of blog posts, you could add a styled box, a contact form, a video, WordPress content, meaning it'll just take, if you have another page that's using the block editor, it'll just take that WordPress content and put it into your Thrive Architect page. You can do styled lists. Let's drag a list out here and see what that looks like. And then when you're editing lists, you can change this icon if you want to. And Thrive comes with all of these icon packs built into it. So if you have a health food blog, Shanique was on here. So let's say you wanted a food icon. Oh, I guess that's supposed to be the Apple computer icon, maybe. But anyway, it's really simple to change the icons for the whole list, and you can edit the whole list at once, or you can edit individual items in the list. Oh, my computer's mad because I'm streaming. So Shanique is asking, is this a template available in Automation Club? No, this is from Thrive Themes. So if you go back to the beginning later on, this is a company that, let's see, that's the help doc. Thrive Themes is the software that I've used and built my website on since 2015. So I went over this earlier in the video, but they have a whole suite of plugins for WordPress that basically give you a business in a box. So it has everything you need for marketing. If you want to have a membership site, if you want to have a course, they have all the things, and it's like $239 a year. So that's what I'm using for this. So it's not my software. But you could absolutely come to office hours and work on your site. And then, if you wanted to get help, that would be a way to get help with particular things while you're working on this. Okay. Oh, this thing is stuck. Yes, leave the page. That is the downside of trying to build while you are streaming. What else? Oh, one thing I really love is if you want to create different layouts, there's a columns field. So you can make columns, and then you can choose halves, thirds, quarters, whatever it is you want. And then you could drag whatever you want into those columns. So let's say you wanted to do a video on one side, drag that over here. And then you wanted to do some text. And let's see. You can use for video, you can use YouTube, Vimeo, Wistia, pretty much any video player that you want. Let's see if I have a YouTube URL handy. I don't know what that's going to be. Oh, it's this. That's meta. We love it. We love it. Okay. So lots and lots of options. If you've used any of the other drag and drop type functionality, like you can pick this up. Oh, you're asking about the Airtable template. Yes, I just reach out and I'll add this to Automation Club. Yeah, this is cool because you can add basically all of your software and kind of know what you're paying per month for your software. Puzzle, which is the mapping tool I use, also has integrated the ability to add your software pricing. And that's kind of cool. I haven't done that yet, but that's kind of cool because then in the place where you are mapping out how much you're actually using these tools, you also have that pricing info right there. So then when you're like, I'm paying too much for this tool, then you can look and see like, oh, well, I'm also using this tool for 500 steps inside of my processes. So yeah, both ways are cool. And I'll make this available, Shanique. Okay, so let's see. We've got our basic tools, right? So far, we've got WordPress, which doesn't really cost anything, but you need your hosting, you need your theme. We've got a password manager. Um, the other thing that really keeps people from using WordPress is the maintenance. So I'm going to close some of these tabs. So let's talk about that. What I recommend is that you don't do your own WordPress maintenance. For years, I have outsourced that to a company, and let's see. Access WP is the company that I recommend to my clients. So what they're going to do is they are going to manage all the basic maintenance for your site. They're going to update the plugins. They're going to make sure that you don't get hacked. If you do get hacked, they're going to take care of it. I haven't had anybody have problems getting hacked that I've put on any of the services I regularly recommend, like in forever. So this is what I recommend for your maintenance, because not only are they going to do all that back-end stuff that you really don't want to spend your time on, they also have unlimited support tickets. So that means you can send them an email and say, hey, can you create this landing page? Or, hey, can you add a contact form to this page? Or, hey, can you add a new team member to the team member page? All those little things. Can you add this new plugin? Like whatever it is you don't want to do with your site, you can send them an email, and anything that they can do in 30 minutes or less, they will just do for you. So let's see how much we are going to pay for that. Let's see. Premium $149 a month. They used to have multiple prices, but it looks like they've gone to just one price. So that's pretty good, especially when you compare it to either having a broken site when you really need your site to be working, or like hiring a VA or hiring a tech VA to manage your stuff. $149 a month is pennies. So let's put that in. Let's see. Do I already have it in here? I do not. Okay, so let's put that in here. WP access. And we're going to make it recommended, and it's going to be $149 per month. All right, so let's go back to our recommended tab. I think this annual cost is supposed to be a formula. So let's fix that. Formula. This is going to be the monthly. Let's see. Oh, I see. All right. I'm not going to update that just yet. But $149. $149 times 12. $1,788. Okay, so our annual cost is now a little over $2,500, but we've got maintenance, we've got our site, we've got our hosting, we've got our password manager. And I think the only other thing I might add, even for a new business, would be Calendly, so that you have scheduling. Let's see, I did put this in here. So let's add Calendly to the recommended list and see where that gets us. And let's just go double check the price of Calendly. because it's been a while. Oh, I think I'm logged in. All right. I'm going to open an incognito window real quick and just double check the pricing. Yep, $10 a month, which is what we have here. Okay, so $120. All right. So we've got our basic business in a box website and marketing for about $2,600 a year. What is that per month? That's about $216 per month. So all this drama I see about how expensive it is to have WordPress, or how expensive it is to have like really great automation tools, we haven't even hit $300 a month. And I think this is everything you would need for like a beginner business. And this would take you definitely to the 6-figure mark, probably beyond. I mean, I've been using this stuff since 2015, and I haven't made huge changes to my tech stack. I think 2024 was the first time in 9 or 10 years that I'd made significant changes to my tech stack. And I'm not going to go into that. I'm going to do an updated podcast. I have a podcast episode number 14 that is all about choosing your tech stack. And I think it's about 3 years old. So I'm going to do an updated version of this podcast with some of the things that I've added in the last year, mainly Puzzle for business process mapping, Airtable, of course, which I can't live without, and Fill Out for like forms and things. But honestly, as a core tech stack, this would get you a long way, and it avoids a lot of the headaches that you run into when, you run into the limitations of your apartment software. And by the way, I'm including Showit. I should have mentioned that earlier, but I'm including Showit in the like apartment software, even though it's technically built on WordPress, because you don't have control. And you can't even add the blog functionality. You have to upgrade in order to add the blog functionality to Showit. And then there was something else that came out about just the way that they build their pages doesn't follow best practices for page structure. So when you're talking about being compliant for screen readers and accessibility, for SEO, for page speed, for things like that, you have no control over things like that. Let's see. Thrive, I think, has, if we go into the product manager, I don't know if they still have it, but they used to have a plugin that would even help you speed up your site. So you would install this page speed plugin, and it would smush all your images and do, kind of do all the things people don't know to keep their images small. And so it would do all the things to smush your images and optimize your code to make your site load faster. Honestly, switching to WPX hosting was probably the main thing I did that sped up my sites the most. So there's just so much that they guide you through that you don't have to worry about. And then, you only turn on the features that you really want. And then let's say you want a quiz later on, then you can turn on the quiz builder. And I'm going to see, this is risky, but I am going to see if the quiz is working on this client's site. We have adventures and the adventure quiz. Let's see if it's working. There we go. So this is a good example of a quiz made on Thrive Quiz Builder. And in this case, this client is using it to help people figure out, is their dog ready to go on their off-leash adventures? So you choose your answers here, and it kind of gives you these tips as you go. I'm not really reading my answers here, but I should take this quiz for real, but our dogs had been adventuring for a long time. Okay, so then at the end, goes here and it tells you how you scored. So this is a great like opt-in, and then it tells you, hey, your dog's not ready, right? Other cool things. This is actually great because I can show you some of the things that I really love about the capabilities. One of the things I love about Thrive Themes is the ability to show targeted testimonials and like targeted content. I'm trying to think. Let's see if we go to private training. Shanique says, does the Thrive Builder integrate with your ESP? Yes, it does. I can show you that probably on my site, actually. Let's see. Oh, here we go. So here's the private training page, and then you've got this testimonial. And so when you use the Thrive testimonials plugin, you can actually designate the categories. So let's say you have a category that's private, that's related to private training, right? Every time you refresh, let's say you have 5 or 10 of these private training testimonials, you can set it so that every time you refresh the page, it shows a new testimonial. So you know how people shop. When people are thinking about buying something, they will go to your website and then they'll get interrupted and then they'll come back to your website. Like it takes people a while to process, and they're in the research mode and they're coming back to your site. And so to be able to have testimonials that update, so it's not just the same one, so they're getting different perspectives. Maybe sometime they come back to this site and they're like, oh, this testimonial is about a Vishla. I've got a Vishla. Okay, I know this service is right for me. And that's the thing that gets them to actually move. Let's see, one place we did that for sure is on the team page. I know there are team members who have lots and lots of testimonials coded to them. And so when you click on that team member and you come back and you click on that team member again, you'll see different testimonials. So these are the kinds of strategic functionality that exists that's really easy to use that actually helps your conversions. And that's why I love Thrive, because it's really based on conversion focused tools, right? Tools that actually help you get results. Okay, so Shanique wanted to know about connecting with your ESP. So let's see, let me go. Oh, that's not what I wanted. WP admin. So we're going to go into my actual site and go into the dashboard. I think it's just the main dashboard. Let's see. It might be global. It's not global elements. Analytics and scripts, maybe. Nope. See, it's been so long since oh, here we go. API connections. So you can come into API connections and you can connect different services. So I have ActiveCampaign, Twitter. We don't need that. Oh my God. Whatever. Okay, so you can come in and you can connect different services. So let's see, this has, wow, they have Aweber, Constant Contact, Drip, Fluent CRM, GetResponse, HubSpot, Keep, MailChimp, MailerLite, MailPoet, Mail Relay, Entreport, SendGrid, pretty much any email service that you might be using. And then they've got other ones for webinars. You can connect your Facebook, connect Zapier. So that's how you would do that. All right. Any other things? Let's see, since we're in my site, is there anything that I wanted to show? I'm not going to go into Thrive Leads, but Thrive Leads is a super robust opt-in tools for like capturing leads. You can do things like you can segment your leads up front. So for one client, we had an opt-in where when you click opt-in, it would have a pop-up, and that pop-up would say, hey, are you a teacher or an administrator? And then once they chose that, the follow-up questions would be different. And then when they hit subscribe, then those people would be tagged appropriately so that you know who you're talking to on the back end. These are great questions, Shanique. Okay. What about insights? Seeing traffic and such, is that native to Thrive themes? So it's not, your insights as far as like your traffic are going to come from Google Analytics, from having that integrated, or a lot of people are switching to something like Fathom Analytics because they don't like, in Google Analytics, there's all sorts of privacy issues. I can't spell and talk at the same time. Analytics. So if you want simpler analytics and you don't want the privacy issues, this is a great option. It's a paid option because when you pay for things, you're not the product, right? So you can check out Fathom Analytics and you would install that. They do have, let me see if I have some old, as far as like lead gen stats, let me go to Thrive Leads. These are like super old lead gen because I haven't had opt-in forms, but these are all like old opt-in forms from my site. And it does tell you the impressions versus the conversions and the conversion rate right in here for your lead gen with Thrive Leads. So that is nice. And the other thing is you can A/B test as well as A/B testing your website pages. You can A/B test your opt-ins, and it's really oeasy to do that. So let's see. This no lead left behind was my old opt-in, and let me see. So you can see the conversions and the conversion rate. You can easily copy it and do an A/B test. So I do like that part of it. Let's see, what other cool things? Thrive Ovation, that's the testimonials plugin that I was talking about. So you can have these testimonials. When they come in as a waiting review. And so they don't just like appear on your site. If somebody were to be like, I hate you. They come in, you can look at them first, you can approve them. One thing I will do is if somebody just kind of word vomits and has a really, really long testimonial, I will break it up. Let's say somebody is like, oh, I love the response time when I ask for things. And they say, oh, I love the pricing, or I love the onboarding. Like you can split those into their own little testimonials so that you can put them in targeted places where people are converting, right? You can put them on your sales page. You can put them on the cart page. And so that's a way you can be really strategic and targeted with your testimonials. So you've got ready for display, awaiting approval, awaiting review, rejected. And then tagging is how you would categorize them. So you could say, hey, all the testimonials with the onboarding tag are going to show in this particular place. So hopefully that answers your question about insights, Shanique. All right. I think it's been a little over an hour. I think I'm going to wrap this up, but I hope this has kind of demystified how you can use WordPress and have it not be like this big, overwhelming thing. There's still a lot to it. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot that goes into creating a site with best practices that's going to be effective and convert for you. But like the basic layout and being able to edit basic things about your site shouldn't be a huge barrier. And one of the things that just made me crazy when I was a developer is when people would come to me and they'd be like, yeah, I can't touch this because I'm afraid of breaking it. And you shouldn't you shouldn't be afraid to actually use your site. Your website should be a thing that is the front door of your marketing, and it lets you draw the right people in and get them on to the next stage of the journey, whether that's purchasing, whether that's getting on your email list. This is kind of my planting my flag in the sand so that when people are like, oh, I can't use WordPress, it's too hard, you can come look at this video and say, okay, that wasn't that bad, right? I can use this theme. I can use these tools to give me a basic layout that you can then customize. Because that really should be most of the work, should be you thinking about and figuring out what your messaging is and what content you want to have on your website to have the messaging that you need to have to attract the people that you want to attract. So thank you, Shanique, for showing up live and asking questions. If you're watching the replay, hit me with your replay comments and questions. And if you want more of this, come on over into Automation Club. It's free for the first 30 days. So there's literally no risk. I shut down my free email list because being on my email list is not going to help you get the results. You actually need to get shit done. So if you need help, come get help. And I look forward to seeing you all. If you like this was an experiment. So if you liked it, give me some positive feedback. And we'll see. Maybe I'll do this again. All right. Take care, y'all.